you know, presented before me. So that's why I think I would do it.
Okay.
Ms. Williamson, what would you do to attract more business to Groves?
Well, I think there's a lot of business that needs to come to Groves, and based on my background in business development, what I did then was I had to cold call businesses, people that I knew that would use our service. So for example, I can think of several companies off the top of my head that are looking to expand. And what I would do is call their CEO or the president of their company and talk to them about what the city of Groves has to offer them, our EDC grants, you know, that we are looking for top-notch businesses to come to our town and stay for a long period of time. So I have no problem personally doing that.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
If selected, what do you hope to accomplish as a council member?
Well, I don't think that it would be me accomplishing something. I think it would be a group effort that we would all, so what I would hope to accomplish is that we would all work together as a team for the greater good of our city. So I wouldn't focus it just on what I was going to do for the city.
Okay. I'm sorry, was there somebody? I think I need to mute them. So what do you believe are some of Grove's greatest strengths?
I think there's a lot of good people that live in our town who are hardworking people. They're dedicated and loyal. I think our people, the people of our city, are our top commodity that we have to offer as a, I don't know if you want to call it a commodity, but I think that's our top strength.
Okay.
Do you see your role in the position of council member, Ward 1?
Well, I see my role as listening to all the people of the city, not just the people that live in my ward, although, you know, I'm zoned because I have lived there, but I would be representing everybody in our city. So I see my role as listening to what the people find to be important, and then acting on that, doing what's best financially, ethically, morally from there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Williamson, what do you feel is the most pressing problem with the city of Groves?
I feel it's our financial situation. I feel that, I'm sorry?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And I'm basing that on having read the past audits and the current financial situation. I feel that that's a concern. I think that we need to do a financial analysis, as if you guys did select me, as a group, to understand what is the root cause, and then where do we go from there? How do we improve it? How do we change it? What do we need to do to make things better?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more important to do the right thing or do things the right way?
Well, I think, in my opinion, those are similar, very closely related. So if you're going to do the right thing, and you have to follow guidelines, you have to follow laws, you have to follow processes and procedures, so that's doing what's right, you know. I think they're closely related.
Thank you.
Sure.
What do you think the role of social media should be as it relates to local issues?
I think it's important. I think a lot of people, they watch the news, they go on Facebook, they go on Twitter. I think it's important. I would communicate using social media.
Okay.
What do you see as the most important service the city provides, and why?
Well, the city, the most important service that they provide is to understand that their customers are the citizens who pay their tax dollars to be serviced with streets, drainage, trash. I don't think one of those things in particular are more important than the other, but it's very important to understand that the citizens are our customers.
Okay, now I'm sure some of the other council members have some of their own questions. Councilmember Dugas?
Did you, I don't know if I can ask this or not, but I'm gonna try. Did you read any of the things that I personally wrote when I was running for office?
Yes, I did.
Did you read about my idea about a liaison?
I believe I did, yes.
Okay, yeah, because several things you said ties into that,
Okay.
and I just wondered. Good, that's good. Thank you.
I think she's answered what I.
Okay. Councilmember Bailey? Pro Tem, Mayor Pro
Did
Tem.
you, in the last 4 or 5 years, did you find, some use of, in the audit where we spent the money the wrong way, or was not accounted for?
Well,
That you said.
no,
you said
an
that.
audit doesn't, this is my understanding of an audit based on speaking with people in financial world. The audits that the city has done are, that's not to show wrongdoing, that's to show, did they follow generally accepted accounting principles? Were the income statements turned in? Was the financial statement turned in? They don't, it's not a forensic audit to determine were funds misused, if that's what you're asking me.
Well, no, I thought at one time something was said on social media about the balancing.
Yes, the city did, based on their audits, did show a negative general fund balance for the last 4 years. I did say that, and that is on your website.
That's all. Thank you.
You got
Other than that, the other thing, the streets,
Uh-huh.
do you know what the plan is for the new street program?
I don't know what the plan is. I believe that the budget is now up to 800,000 or so.
883,000.
Yes, and that's for materials, correct?
I mean, it's for the rebuilding of the streets, but that's okay.
Okay, but my understanding was that the budget, that was for the materials, and then a lot of times, the city of Groves has their own personnel do the work, which is in the streets.
But it's in the budget.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, sure.
Ms. Williamson, I believe it was 2018 you ran for mayor.
That's right, yes,
There was a runoff forced and you withdrew.
correct.
Respectfully. That same year, this position was also up for appointment.
Yes.
You did not apply for that appointment,
No, I
correct?
did not.
And in 2019, this Ward 1 position was up for election. You
Correct.
did not apply at that time either.
No.
Generally speaking, is there any reason that you're seeking appointment now when you've had an opportunity to be on the council for the last 3 years?
Well, as I stated previously, I've done a lot of research on the city, and I guess I would say I feel as though there's been some positive changes on our board this election cycle. I'm excited about it. I think that your role as mayor, I think that so far I'm seeing positive things coming from your position. And I also think that the board changing in some positions is a help.
Okay.
That's partly why that is the reason I made my decision.
Okay. And I have just one last question.
Okay,
The social media, you said it's a good thing, even though people's comments go unchecked, people can
it's
pretty
not
much,
always a good thing.
people can pretty much say whatever they want
Yes,
and
they
never,
can.
even when proved wrong, they do not have to make amends for it.
No.
And that has been an issue, especially since not all people have access to all pages.
Okay,
So I think that the answer that it's good is, you know, tread lightly on that because it's not always good.
It can be used for good.
It can be.
Similar to the news.
100% believe that it can be used for good.
Yes, similar to the news. There, sometimes things are misreported, and that happened to me during the mayoral campaign, so.
Are there any other questions? We thank you for your time.
Okay, thank
and we
you.
appreciate your involvement
Okay.
and your application.
Okay, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.
At this time, since she's already gone, you don't have to step outside.
Okay.
We can go ahead and bring in Mr. McAdams. Welcome, Mr. McAdams. Thank you for waiting patiently. And
Not a problem. Thank y'all for having me.
what we'll do is we'll allow you some time to give us a brief statement, similar to what you put in your letter. We have some standardized questions that each person's going to ask, and then each council member has some of their own questions that they'll ask at that time as well. So the floor is yours.
Well, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for letting me have this opportunity to come before you. Obviously, my name is Mark McAdams. I was born and raised here in Groves. I've lived here my entire life. I take pride in our city. I've raised 2 kids here. I grew up right there on Jefferson Street, right down from downtown. I believe that it is every individual's right, every citizen's right, to be able to do something for their city, to be able to give back. As you look at my resume, being in several organizations, being on board of directors, being an officer in some of them, you can tell that I do that. I don't think that it's everybody's thing to do that. I know it's not everybody's deal to be able to get up and talk in front of people, or be on the board, or be on the council. But I think that it is everybody's right as a citizen to be able to give back. And that's always been my motto, is to be able to give back to your community, try to make it a better place.
So we'll start the questions now, and like I said, you might have already answered some of them, but we'll just go through them anyway. Why do you want this position on council?
To be able to make the city a better place. I want to be able to be on the council. I want this council to be transparent to the citizens of Groves, and I want to be able to improve our community.
Okay.
What skill set would you bring to the table that would?
In my experience of being in different organizations, I was in the YMBO when I was president of the YMBO in 2012, which is about a 1,500 member organization. I know that's a lot different than a 15,000 population of the city, but I'm used to working with budgets. I'm used to working with people. I'm a hands-on kind of guy. I like to get down and investigate things. I like to do my due diligence. And I think that my personal skills, I'm also an outside salesman for industrial. So I like to think that my personal skills will help as well. My people skills.
Mark, what would you do to attract more business to Groves?
I firmly believe that we need to look at the EDC. I'm not sure on how we need to go about it, but we definitely need to investigate the EDC as far as trying to improve it. Not that it's terribly wrong now, but anything that we can do to improve the EDC to be able to make it more attractive to gain business here in Groves.
Oh, I'm sorry. If selected, what do you hope to accomplish as a council member?
Well, I hope to accomplish a lot of things. I'd like to be able, like I said, to be able to come on board as a council member. I would like to see some extra activities at the city of Groves. I know that we do the festival now, the Con Festival, but I would like us to see something at a different time of the year for the city of Groves to be able to bring our citizens together. With that being said, I would just like to be a devoted council member to be able to make things better for the city and to be able to do my due diligence in order to have that happen.
Mr. McAdams, what do you believe are some of the borough's greatest strengths?
Greatest strengths of Rose. I believe that we have a great community. I believe that we have great businesses. I believe that we have a great school district. I believe that our strength is the pride in our football team. I believe that the strength is the pride in our city. I believe that the people of our city are prideful.
Do you see your role in the position of council?
My role as council, I believe it is my duty as a council member, if I was to be chosen, to do everything I could to be honest, forefront with everything, to be transparent, and not to have any backdoor deals. I'm gonna throw that out there. And to be completely transparent to the system as well.
Mark, what do you think the most pressing problem is the city currently facing?
I think it's getting new businesses in. I think we need to look at the EDC again. I think we need to look and see what changes we can make to improve it. I think that if we can get more businesses in here, it will obviously help fund our city and taxes. And I think that we need to do a better job of it.
Is it more important to do the right thing or do things the right way?
It's more important to do the right thing. Absolutely, it's more important to do the right thing. If you do the right thing, it's easier to do it the right way.
Thank you.
What do you think the role of social media should be as it relates to local issues?
Don't mind addressing that one at all. I do not agree with posting city government on Facebook. That's not to say that we couldn't go Facebook Live at our meetings. That would be fine. But I do not agree with discussing city business on Facebook. That's not something that should be done. Or any other social media.
What do you see as the most important service the city provides?
Safety, number one, through the police department and fire department. Absolutely. Safety. If we don't have safety, we're not gonna have a lot of residents go on. They're gonna leave.
Okay, that is the end of our pre-form questions here. I'll go, each council member will have an opportunity to ask their specific questions to you. Councilmember Dugan?
Kind of a rough draft here, so if I
No problem.
stumble over it. City council members have a great deal of information to consume, for instance, legal and financial, and it takes a considerable amount of personal time to read, study, research the pertinent information. What is your level of commitment to this process, and what are you willing to do to be effective with this information and the commitment?
I think due diligence, once again, I keep harping on that, but I think doing your due diligence before a meeting, I would like to see, and I know this has been done in the past, but used to, I believe they had, if I'm not wrong, they had workshops before city council. I would like to see us bring that back. And to be quite honest with you, upfront with you, I think had there been a workshop before this meeting, that our two new council members will probably have been more informed on the topics that came up tonight, and it might not take them quite as long. Or it might have been more informed.
May I ask, what is your level of commitment to having to take your personal time and,
That is not a problem. My commitment will be 100%. I have no problem working on it at night, working on the evenings, making phone calls during the day. I have a flexible schedule, I'm able to do that, being an outside salesman. So it will be 100% commitment.
thank you.
Councilmember Hall. Mayor Pro Tem Dave.
Mark, give me a rundown of what you think about our streets.
I definitely think that our streets need repair. I definitely think that our streets need repair. Before I could get in there and say, okay, let's pass this on my first meeting, let's get these streets repaired, we need to find out where the money's going to come from. I would need to look at budgets. I would need to discuss with other council members, the mayor. We definitely need some road work done in the city.
We've got $883,000 this year, this budget.
I can tell you that I live on Simpson Avenue, and my section of Simpson was done several years ago, from Jackson back to Fort Hogan. And the other section from Jackson to Monroe has not been done. And I think that's overdue. We have a horrible dip right there where the old street meets the new street at Jackson. It's a horrible dip. And you can go down there today and see a plastic underpiece of a vehicle laying in the street today. Or laying on the side of the street, so put it over on the side. But yes, we definitely need to.
Thank you.
Mr. McAdams, in 2018, you submitted a letter for consideration for this appointment in 2018.
I did.
Obviously, you were not selected. You chose not to run for the same position in 2019. Can you explain why?
2019, I still have my doubts about some things. Whenever I actually pulled my name out of the hat in 18 with Brad. I actually pulled my name out of the hat. I will be very upfront and honest.